Following up on a comment made by Ann Robinson, one of the channel viewers who I also have to thank for being one of my earliest supporters. And she mentioned that in the recent video I did on Putin's plight, I didn't mention the Eris transit. This is a transit that is super slow and takes many years to traverse through a sign. In Putin's chart, it's in the 7-degree range of Eris in his 6th house, and therefore opposes his sun. This immediately makes this planet a health planet because it's in the health house and it's opposing the sun in another health house. Now that's not the only thing it does, because Eris, no matter where you put it, it's an ultra competitive, very energetic type of energy, type of power. And so this is going to be wired into Putin's personality, especially by way of opposing his sun. And if you count your numbers carefully, it's doing a sesquiquadrate, also known as a sesqui-square, which is like a square and a half, 135 degree, very precise to Pluto. So this Eris is wired to compete, and Eris is said to be not just competition, but cutthroat competition. Intense, fighting for what you want, no holds barred, doesn't matter who is left by the wayside. By the way, the Orange Menace, remember him? He's got Eris in that T-square, that famous T-square, the Access Hollywood T. Eris, Neptune, Mercury, and fits his personality to a T. Another connection to Eris is the chaotic bull in a china shop. Chaos, literally. Discord. That's why it's the goddess of discord. However, when we look at Putin's chart, Anne's point, very well made, is that Eris currently is still in an opposition to that natal Mercury in his chart. It's moved up 16 degrees during the course of his whole life. But of course, if you look in your ephemeris, you notice that this aspect has been happening since 2010, 2011, and most interesting, the intensity increases in 2014, right around when he engineered the Crimea takeover back in the Obama administration. And now it continues to be there. And so we have to make it part of the overall scenario. I think in part it reflects his continued interest in conquering and winning and, you know, competing to win, basically. That's the imagery. But I would not be surprised one bit if this also connects to the health signals that the chart is emitting, because Eris is in the health house. It's that simple. And being wired into a planet, any planet, immediately suggests that, especially if other conditions in the chart point in that direction, for which you could refer to all the quincunxes that I described in the previous video. Quincunxes being, among other things, most definitely a health aspect, particularly health breakdown. And so this tells us that it's still there. It is now starting to move away, but even if you don't take precession into account and you give a 1-degree orb to get it beyond that 23 plus spot in the chart, the Mercury, you're looking at least 2024. If you use precession, it's even further down the road, 2027, 2028. So that aspect is definitely in play. think it definitely contributes to the situation he is currently in, or that, rather I should say, that he started pretty much all by himself. But I'll end by saying that, to my mind, the most dangerous thing for him, and possibly for the rest of the world, is the threat to his health. Because, well, pretty obvious why it would be a threat to him, but for the rest of us, if his health is deteriorating enough, it may be affecting his thinking in a negative way. Mercury is the planet of mind. Mercury rules the 8th, which is a really dangerous house. So it's a dicey situation, and if anything, this bit of knowledge just serves to add even more intensity into the equation.